It's Tuesday's Talk with Terry, and we've taken you right through his life now. And now, currently, what year are we in now? When you're in Australia?
We're in 1975.
In Australia. Take us from there.
Yeah, well, with this man, Julian Joe, as I said, that I met at Greensboro, and he wanted me to go with him. So we're there. We worked in the big clubs in Australia at the time. There were big clubs like Las Vegas. They were run on the one-armed bandits, the poker machines, as they call them. And in rooms of them, they had big rooms with hundreds of them in, because there was no legislation against them. So they're making a lot of money from the gambling and then spending it on entertainment. I think when we were working with Julie, the week before it had been Neil Sedaka. So a lot of these, all these big bands in the clubs, they had anything from 8 to 16-piece band, which were great. It was marvellous to work with. But he bought me a Holden automatic car, a white one, and my job with him, because he used to like to stop in bed a lot in the day, was to go to the clubs we were working at and rehearse the band through the music, topping and tailing, as they call it, to give them the feel of it, or any part of it, then go back. And then we used to come in at night with his road manager, Gordon Long, I used to go in with him, who used to do all the sound and everything for him. And that was it. He used to just go on stage and everything was done for him, wasn't it? That's how they did it. But in between time, we did it. Anyway, we'd been there a couple of months, and then one day, Julian says to me, he says, Terry, we need some string parts doing. I thought, well, we've got 16-piece band, we're not seeing any strings yet. I said, what are we doing? He said, no, we're going to do we need 12 strings, I think. I said, where for? It's the Opera House in... He said, not being open all that long, and it was the Jewellery and the Crown, wasn't it? That's in the Opera House. Yeah. So we went in to have a look around. We were in the concert room, not the Opera House, not the Opera Theatre. There's three places in there. Right, yeah. The big concert room and the Opera House itself, where the Opera Theatre, and then the concert room. We were working in the concert hall. Well, there was about 2,500 people in there, and that's where we wanted the string parts for. So we wanted the entire things doing. And we were doing it, I think we were doing that in about 6 weeks. So I got the entire pad to go through, add strings to them, Not only that, I'm going to have to conduct the orchestra from the piano, like I did before for the 16-piece, but this time I got 12 more strings on the top. So I thought I didn't miss it about. I thought, well, what I'll do strings 1 and 2. I'll not put viola, not violas in and cellos. I won't do that. To make a nice string backing, like a veil thing with the things I did. And that's what I did, and it worked quite well. So we did the Opera House, turned up, and we did a double album CD there.
So you recorded it live?
We recorded it live, it was, at the time. The thing that exists today didn't exist then. Right. Did they? No. Cameras, nothing. Yeah. But I do have one of them CDs here. So I'll show you next time. Yeah. And it was a double album, a 2 album. It sold very, very well.
You've never turned an opportunity down, have you? You've always just
tried it. It's like a door that opens. You either say, well, I can't do that, I don't know what to do that, or you go for it. That helps. If in music world, you've got to do that. Because you don't know, you can either go through it and don't like it, you don't go through it there again, do you? Or you go through another direction to go that way. Yeah. But then you're in another area where you've got a family to feed, you've got a mortgage, and so on. So you've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. So you have to make a decision that's going to be to the benefit of everybody, not just yourself. Yeah. And so that's where the hard work comes in. So that the previous experience I had come there, didn't it? Yes. And it helped me there. Doing that, so that's where it is, isn't it? And I did 2 tours of Australia with Julian Joe, 6 months. Right. But on the end of the first tour, after the Opera House one, we went back through Hong Kong. So we did a month in the Hilton in Hong Kong, which is another story in itself. All right. Which is quite racy.
Oh, hello.
So you better warn them in
Right.
advance.
Get ready next week.
Yeah.
From the Hilton in Hong Kong.
That's right. So we arrived in Hong Kong, right? But before that, we'd stayed for 3 days in Manila, in the Philippines, on the way into there. But when we arrived at Hong Kong, the manager had sent. We arrived looking like two cowboys. Because Julian had got a big hat on, and we'd got a cab into the Heathrow, but he'd also sent a car out for us with somebody to pick us up, and he was waiting on the steps of the Hilton for us to come. We looked like two ragamuffins coming out with the car he sent was lined up behind us. So he gets it, but he got a room, like a suite for Julian, and I got a adjoining room, like a little annex room, which was lovely, smashing. Got everything you want there, but I got a little adjoining door in between the two rooms. So he got a suite, I got a little annex room. We got $100 a day, American eating allowance for us. Couldn't eat that, couldn't eat it. But it didn't transfer from one day to the next, did it?
No.
So we were working in the Eagle's Nest nightclub. So I went up with the music to the Eagle's Nest nightclub, and on stage was a 10-piece band, and they were all Filipinos, cracking musicians. So we started the rehearsal, and all of a sudden comes another 4 playing violins. Like this comes from out of the woodwork. Again, brilliant musicians, everything that were there, spat on. Baddy Twistan, they called him, the man that was the band leader. So I've got him like, I'll never forget his name, like a house on fire, really well. We did a couple of spots on TV Pearl, I think it was, in Hong Kong.
All right.
Their TV channel.
Right.
So we're on that. Everything was in Chinese, but we were singing. But I was thinking, well, we're going to the studio, so I'll just be me and him on piano, right? So I arrived at the studio, and there's Baddig and all the bands from the Hilton had come over, being told to come to play for us.
Right.
Which a great bonus for me, that was great. So that, you don't expect these things, do you?
No.
Anyway, I transgressed. We'd been there for about 6, probably. We were there about 10 days of the month. Now Julian, he likes his ladies. He's a big man. He's about 24 stone, right? And to look at him, you won't think he's. But when he comes on stage, he's another character. He's another persona, and the ladies used to love it. Anyway, we've been in the Hilton about 10 days, and he says, you know what he says? We come back down to the room, and I normally order something for supper, and settle down, watch a bit of Chinese TV and drop off, and etc. And he says, no, but he said, what's up, some female company? He said, I just need a bit of female company. So he went into his room, he got all dolled up, all new, and I'm left there eating my hamburger or something. Anyway, I fell asleep. Now there's an adjoining door between the two, his suite and my room. 3:30 in the morning. The door opens, and there's a 24-stone man, stark naked, in the door, laughing his head off. So, obviously I'm intrigued. Woke up rapidly, I said, what's the problem? Oh, she won't believe it. She said, I went up there, went up to the Eagle's Nest, she said, the nightclub. Oh, they've all got partners. So, anyway, I'll come back down and join me for another hamburger. So he gets in the lift to come back down. He said, in this lift, there's the most beautiful Chinese girl you've ever seen in your life. Beautiful. And she said, excuse me, can you tell me where there's anything to eat, because I'm very hungry. So he thought, well, they've stopped serving in the evening. So I go down the bar of the night, down on the bottom floor. I'll go down there and see if anything sort of down went. So the guy said, I'm sorry, the food now is finished. So you can get room service all night. So she said, you're a little bit big, man, I'm very hungry. Would you mind if I come to your room and have something to eat? I thought, oh, it's my birthday today. So they go back up to his room and they order a big tray of sandwiches and all that. And, oh, would you if I shower? You love it, you're the big man. When I come out, you have shower. And when you come out, we make love. So, she come out of the shower, didn't she? He goes in, oh, in the shower. He comes out, she's gone. All the tray of food's gone. All the money out of his pocket's gone. What he had. He thought that was hilarious. He thought it was hilarious. He called the Susie Wong trick. And it fallen for it right left and centre. He just fell for it. That's the episode there at the Hilton. And so that's Julian.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, you never know what to expect.
You don't know what's around the corner, do you?
Terry's talk on a Tuesday.